Welcome everybody. This is Steve Riley, and this is a call on two concepts. Number one is the project pitch, and the other one's a project leader planner. And what I would like to do is, what I'd like to do is walk you through how these tools work and kind of give you a context around them. So the idea behind this is that the goal out of the Dominate Your Market is to meet one of the 5 challenges, which is to come up with a new innovation that is either a marketing innovation or a production innovation, how you get work out the door. And we want to find a couple of ways to help you think about that. And the 5 concepts that we covered during the workshop were, number 1, reconnecting to the innovator's mindset. 2 is connecting on the 6 stages of developing your innovation. We reviewed during the workshop concept 3, some of the possibilities that people are exploring as an innovation. And then we did concept 4, which is the project pitch, and concept 5, which is the project leader planner. 80% of this call will be focused on concept 4 and concept 5, the project pitch and the project leader planner. But I want to give you a context as we get to concept 4 and concept 5 where we're going. Now, those of you that attended the workshop or attended any of our prior workshops around Dominate Your Market know about the innovator's mindset. And the idea behind the innovator's mindset is really to help you think through how you're approaching innovation in your practice. And we have a separate webinar just on that, so if you haven't listened to that webinar, it's always great to go back and listen to it. But part of that is just really understanding where your mindset is as an innovator inside your own practice inside the legal industry. And we walk through the 6 stages of innovation development or project development, quite frankly, inside your practice. And one is to create stage 1 is to create a possibilities list. Stage 2 is go from possibility to project pitch. One of the challenges that we have is sometimes attorneys go directly from creating a possibility list to stage 6, rolling out version 1.0, and the innovation or the idea crashes and burns. And one of the things we're trying to get you to do is slow down and get some clarity around your project and think about where you're going with your project. So that's where I like going from stage 2 to stage 3, thinking about your project as a possibility, and then making a pitch. And then you'll make a pitch maybe to your Mad Lab team or to a project leader, which we'll talk about. And your Mad Lab team in stage 4 creates a beta version. Stage 5, you test it on some ideal customers. So stage 6, you roll it out and see how it does. But when we roll it out, we remember we're working with version 1.0. So during the workshop, we talked about possible ideas you had for your innovations, and we're not going to do that on today's call. So what we're going to do is now shift to concept 4, which is the project pitch. And here we're going from idea to action. And this is really focusing on the first 3 stages of our innovation development stage ladder. Number 1 is think about what are those possibilities. Number 2 is to create a pitch about the possibility. And then stage 3 is pitch it to the project leader of your Mad Lab team. And my assertion is that if you're going to have a project, you need a project leader, because most of the time having the attorney being the project leader is usually a disaster. The experiences that we've had over the years just consistently prove that our lawyers are really great at 2 things. Number 1, our lawyers are really great at developing business and developing relationships with referral sources. And number 2, at getting work done. And when I say getting work done, I mean the complex work that only they can do. They're really not great project managers. They may be great case managers, but they're terrible project managers. So our suggestion is that if you're going to take an idea and move this idea to the next level, you want to figure out who your project manager is. So you really have 2 sales to make. You have 2 sales processes. The first one's a very difficult question. Of all the ideas you have right now, why is this one the best? Why should you get behind this idea above and beyond any other idea? Why is this the take it to the bank idea of everything else that you're playing with right now? Number 2, of all the ideas you have right now, why should your project leader get behind this one and push? I promise you the person you're selecting to be the project leader is usually going to be one of your most trusted and respected and skilled and talented people. That's how it works in our organization. That's how it works in most organizations, where people find a really, really strong project leader and have the project leader take the idea and run with it. So you want to be able to convince yourself and say, gosh, you know, why do I want to get behind this particular idea? And number two, your project leader's got to buy into it because they're going to be doing a tremendous amount of work. So in order to do that, we really want you to think about that. So I have a little Dilbert cartoon on the screen that I got a big charge out of. And so it's Dilbert walking into his manager saying, I have a great idea. And the manager goes, what kind? Is it the kind I scoff at, the kind I steal, or the kind that makes me double your workload? And Dilbert responds, it might be all of those. And of course the manager says, sounds good so far. Now the point of the joke is for a lot of project managers, this is every new idea that the owner or the lawyer brings to them. It just means more work. It means, money for the company, but not necessarily money for the project leader. It means just a lot of more complexity to the project leader. So why should the project leader get behind this particular project? So up on the screen right now is what we call the project pitch. And the project pitch is really designed for you as the lawyer owner or the investor into this particular concept or particular idea to think it through. So on the upper right hand corner you put your name and the date that you're working on this particular exercise, and then step number one in the upper left hand corner you walk through the idea. What is the idea? And my suggestion is you write this in print so it's clear and easy to understand. Number two, you want to ask yourself, who will benefit from the idea? Like who will be the end user of this particular idea? And really, at the end of the day, how are their lives improve? Like how will this make a difference for them that make their lives better off? Will it save them time, save them money, make their lives simpler, less stress? What will it do for them? Step number four, what's the worst case if we don't do this project? Will we lose competitive edge in the marketplace? Will we lose an opportunity? What's our downside? Step five is what's the best case if we do it? If we do take this project on, what's the best case for us? And then step six, and this one requires a little bit of thinking. For this project, in the eyes of you as the investor, the owner, the person who created the project, for this project to be a success, what will have to occur? Like what will be the key criteria that you will say this project was a success from your viewpoint? These are not necessarily the steps of getting there. Really what I'm looking for here is the results. What will the results of this project be from your viewpoint as the investor and the leader of the firm? Great. So with that, let's switch over to concept 5, the project leader planner. So when you're done with the project pitch, what I'd like you to do is take it to your project leader. And I want you to pitch it to the project leader so the project leader can hear it, listen to it, and can understand where you're coming from. If you want, which I would really strongly recommend, for those of you that have project leaders and people that you identify that didn't come to the workshop, have them listen to this webinar so they can understand this process. But concept 5 is where you start to hand off intellectually and emotionally this project to whoever your project leader is. So when you do your pitch to the project leader, what I want the project leader to do is to come back with this worksheet called the Project Leader Planner. And I want the project leader, after listening to your pitch, to come back and re-communicate to you first and foremost who they perceive will benefit from the project, how that person will benefit, what is the ideal outcome of the project, what resources does the project leader need? Do they need time? Do they need money? Do they have a budget? What do they need to pull this off? And then the next steps are the action steps. What are the action steps to complete the project? Who should do it and when? Now on the far right, you'll see project leader ownership. So the question here is that I ask is, how does the project leader win? Like, why does the project leader want to get behind this and push this project? What's the benefit to them? How do they get ahead with this project? Is it a bonus? Is it the fact that they take on this new responsibility? Is it the fact that they get to do a really creative project? What is it from the project leader's perspective that they like about the project and they want to push behind it? And then when this is completed, I want the leader, in this case, the project leader, to say, look, I'm 100% in. I own this project. It's mine now. I have no questions about it. And I'm going to take 100% responsibility of the timelines and getting it done. The investor, which is you, the leader or the owner of the firm, has to say, look, you got 100% permission to execute on the project planner just the way you described it to me in this. And you've got 100% of my support. So really what we're looking for in the upper right-hand corner is the project pitch completed? Is the project planner completed? Is this project completely investable? And are the leader and the investor both behind the project? So what I'm looking for here is complete 100% clarity between the project leader and you as the investor of the project. I want you to say, okay, I'm completely behind it. What support do you need that I haven't given you, so that you're right, the two of you are literally on the same page. And in the bottom right-hand corner is, how will the project leader provide you progress reports? When will they occur and how will they occur? Will this be face-to-face once a week? Will it be over the phone? Will it be via email? Will it be once a month? How will you deliver the update from the project leader? So you want to think about that so there's no misunderstanding between you and the project leader. Generally speaking, the lawyers will think, I gave the project away to somebody and they're responsible for it, and then after a couple of days they haven't heard anything back, and then they'll start to hunt down and stalk the project leader. So what I'm saying here is that in lieu of stalking your project leader, get clear about what your expectations are and what the project leader is willing to provide as far as update to you about progress reports around the project planner. Now, some of you as you're walking through this might be thinking, wow, the two things that are really useful about this is, number one, the project pitch. You as the owner of the firm, I don't think should be allowed to walk into your project leader or anyone else on your staff with a project without completing your project pitch. I think you should have your project pitch completed so you have greater clarity, greater focus, greater understanding, and you can talk intelligently with clarity to your project leader. And I don't care whether it's an innovation project or a project to clean up old files in the office. It really doesn't matter to me, but I want you to be thinking, how can I improve my communication around this? And then if it's a project and it's going to require more than one step, then I would really expect that the project leader planner, especially on a complicated project, should be completed by whoever the project leader is, so there's a complete understanding between you and your team. My experience is, and I had this occur the other day on ranking a couple of cases in our business. We had a couple of cases where I said I want an Excel spreadsheet created where we'll just call it category A was here, category B was in the middle, and category C was here. And what I got back was something completely different. And I realized what I didn't do on the front end was sit down with my project pitch and get really clear with the project leader of that project what my expectation was, what I was trying to accomplish. And I thought I was completely articulate and incredibly communicative in my 30-second drive-by, here, go do this. And realized that I need to be eating my own cooking, and I should have sat down, taken the 5 to 10 minutes, or I don't care if it took 30 minutes, to get clarity around what my specific project was and what my instructions were, so that she wasn't spinning her wheels because she spent the entire afternoon chasing her tail on something. And not that the work she didn't do was a lot or productive, it just was she went to the right when I wanted her to go to the left on this particular project, and quite frankly, it was all my fault. It was all my fault. I didn't think it through. I didn't create my project pitch. I didn't do a planner with her, and it was just a drive-by project, and it taught me, it reminded me how important it is to take a few minutes just to get really, for me to get clarity and communicate to someone what my expectation was of this particular project. So in closing, that's our project pitch, which I strongly encourage you to use. We have you can print this PDF out and just print it out and use it and handwrite it. We also have a fillable PDF of both tools, the project pitch and the project leader planner. My hope is that you use these and you find these to be very productive for your practice and taking your practice forward. Thank you for your time and attention on this webinar.